glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. Happy September. We made it almost fall. It's not really fall, but September is like back to school for me. And
fall for me, man. September 1st, fall.
I know you have all your decorations up. You should send me the videos that you took, and I should put them in the back end of the.
Made me very happy, and it's so much cozier at night than it is when I take pictures during the day. But
oh yeah,
it just makes me happy. And I was putting decorations up, and I thought, oh man, I'm finally here. I remember in June when I was putting up patriotic stuff, and I was like, I can't hardly wait to put my fall stuff up. Then I had to put my sunflower stuff up, and then now it's fall.
You should just leave your fall stuff up year round, except Christmas. Just feel like, oh, fall all the time. So happy. I just have a fallish.
I'd probably get tired of it then.
I would. That's true. It's kind of like putting up my Christmas stuff. I love it when it's up, and then by the end of Christmas season, I'm like, I want it out. I want it down. I want simple and clean. And
yeah, I kind of thought that if you guys don't come for Thanksgiving again this year, I might just put my Christmas up before Thanksgiving. If it's just us and Austin and Kelly and my dad.
Some people do that.
Or just bring some down. Yeah. I don't know. I probably won't though.
Doesn't Priscilla put hers up in like October?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of our last. It probably will be our last Thanksgiving in this house, so I probably should leave the Thanksgiving up.
Yeah.
That was also kind of that made things a little harder taking down my sunflower stuff, because I have the actual decorations, but then I embellish with things that I use for other seasons too, like the little glass. What would you call those little, like tart? The little glass. I have my little trees sitting in them. They're like cake pans, but they're little, like cake stands, but they're little tiny ones.
Yeah, a little tray, little
glass things on a stand. And so like I'll use those to elevate things, to give different heights to things like on my mantle. And so those I don't want to pack away, right? Because I'm probably going to use them for Christmas or use them for winter. Right. So as I'm packing, I'm thinking, some of this is getting packed away, probably won't be opened until I move, because Dad wants to be gone by next summer. So
right.
I'm like, sunflower stuff probably won't come out in this house again. So I was kind of packing up to move too. So rather than just kind of lay it in a box, I'm wrapping them. And I had teapots and stuff that I normally would have probably just put in the drawer in the guest room that I packed. And I choose sunflower teapots. So anyway, it was just a little more work. So it was a 2-day event. I also did work fast. And on Friday, I kind of dinked around. It was hot. It was warm here.
Yeah.
So when you start moving around and doing that kind of stuff, it takes longer. Plus, I'm older. I just don't do things fast anymore.
Just taking your time.
You know what though? Since Mom died, with all of her fall stuff, I used to have 2 crates of fall and a little tiny one with like candlesticks and little thin little statues, pilgrim statues. I now have 5 crates of fall.
Oh my gosh.
It's like fall just exploded in my house.
So much. Oh,
those big flower arrangements.
Oh yeah.
Crates. I don't want them to get smashed just being up on it. Anyway, so I said to Dad, "Come help me get the fall crates down." So he comes in the laundry room because they're up on a shelf above my laundry, my washer and dryer. So I'm on the step stool and I'm pulling them over to him. He goes, "Good grief, how many of these do you have? How many are up there?"
A lot. Plenty to decorate forever.
Yeah. So anyway, fall has not really arrived here in Washington. It still looks like summer outside.
Yeah. It's still hot here, but it is supposed to be starting to cool down.
Yeah.
A little bit this week even. So, and we're starting school this week. I think the girls have COVID, so we're playing things a little bit by ear. So we finally got COVID. This is the first time we've had it ever. It was like 2.5 years into the pandemic. I guess we are due, but
it's gonna get you. It's gonna get you.
Yeah. So the girls, all 3 have had it. Liddy had it 3 days ago, and she was kind of the worst, or 2 days ago. Millie was the worst yesterday, and today Rosie is the worst. So they're kind of like bowling pins, like going down there. But once they're down, there's actually the second day, all of them have perked back up. They've really just felt bad so far. One day. Second day, Liddy was perked up. She wasn't on the couch anymore. She was on the floor playing video games. And then today, Millie was like We're recording. Do you want to be on the video looking in your jammies?
Is that her jammies?
Yeah.
That's not what she had on earlier when she came up.
No, she put on different jammies.
Oh.
I don't think she had changed since she got sick.
The best part about all of this is that we could call Sarah's family a super spreader event because they went to a swim party.
Oh. Well, yeah. So Thursday night, my homeschool co-op had like a swimming party for everybody, and nobody was really feeling sick. Lydia had been complaining about a sore throat, but also it had been smoky. You weren't yet. Oh, I guess Millie was a little bit then too, but it was just smoky and there were no other symptoms, and it didn't even occur to me that they were actually sick. And there's also a lot of allergens right now. The tumbleweeds are putting out pollen, and we always kind of have a little bit of allergies around this time of year. So I truly, and she wasn't even like droopy or tired or grumpy or feverish.
Yeah,
no idea. So we went to the pool party, and the next day I had to text all my friends, I'm really sorry. Just thought I'd let you know. Lydia has COVID today. I have a question from somebody. Fine, go ahead. Play screens, whatever. So they've literally been on screens, like down in the family room, quarantined kind of. I'm not really like, I'm going up in and out of there, but I'm not going and hanging out down there because first of all, there's not really anywhere to sit because they're all over the couches. So they've been down there. Well, Lydia's been down there for straight 3 days. Millie's been down there straight for, and Rosie was not feeling good yesterday either, but not as droopy as she is today. She had a pretty bad fever this morning, but she perked up. I think some ibuprofen kicked in a little bit, and she's perked up.
She's kind of your fever runner. I feel like she often gets fevers that are higher than anybody else.
Yeah, and she's the one I was kind of watching more closely for respiratory, because when she gets a cold, she stays kind of congested longer, but so far it hasn't been anything worse than like a flu.
They're at an okay age to get COVID. It's better than having a baby with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just laying down playing Super Mario World or whatever.
They're like, hey, unlimited screen time.
Last hurrah of summer before mom.
This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't think they're too upset. Rosie was pretty, she looked miserable this morning, but once they get to that miserable moment, then
Lydia looked pretty,
Lydia didn't look good the first day.
Yeah, and she didn't look real great yesterday morning.
But she was eating a ton. Yes, like the first day she didn't eat. Millie didn't really eat yesterday, and Rosie hasn't. Well, she did eat some lunch, which was another good sign, because Lydia didn't eat all day. And then yesterday, all she wanted to do was eat. She was just like, she would finish food and ask for more, finish that and ask for more. She was just starving. So,
Penny, our little granddaughter, my little granddaughter, Sarah's niece, had hand, foot, and mouth disease a week ago. And, one of those things that also I think was creeping up, but they didn't know, but she wasn't really acting like herself, and she was running a low-grade fever, and then all of a sudden she would not eat. And, they probably look in her mouth, but it's hard to look in a 2-year-old's mouth and really see much other than teeth.
Yeah.
And so when they took her in and they got her diagnosed, and then it took several more days for her to really get her, because they said her mouth was a mess and probably down her throat. So they were trying everything. She had a lot of apple juice, I guess. But Austin stopped by, Daddy stopped by our house one night, a couple nights ago, dropped something off, and he had her in the car. And so I went over to the window and was talking to her, and I could tell on her little face that she had lost weight in just that week. Yeah, her little face looked way thinner. She looked pretty pale still. But then I think it was the next day, because Austin was a little concerned that day because she had kind of perked up, and then that day she was coughing and stuff, and he thought, oh, I hope she's not coming out something else. So I called him the next day, and they go, oh no, she's fine. She was up at 6:45, raring to go, and she's eating like a linebacker. So she must have at that point. But it's really something when they don't eat for that just a few days. I'm like, how come I don't lose weight that fast? Because I don't usually go several days without eating.
When was the last time you didn't eat for a few days?
Well, yeah, can't think of the last time. In fact, I realized that other than having COVID and that cold last fall, that's all I've had since the winter of 2020.
Crazy.
I haven't had the stomach flu. God help us. I don't want everyone to get that again. I'm sure it's going to happen again in my lifetime. But it's crazy because it's not like I just sit at home. I mean, out and about, but
yeah,
I mean, not having little kids at home, I think really does limit what you're exposed to on a daily basis. And they were gonna, I mean, they were supposed to have gone to it before they knew what she had. They were going to go on a trip. They were going to go over. They had like tickets to go see some show, their anniversary, and I was gonna. Their nanny was going to babysit, but then they thought, nah, Penny's been kind of sick. Depending on what she has, Mom, would you be willing to come watch her tonight? And I'm like, well,
maybe.
Let's find out what she's got. I said, if she's got, because they thought maybe she had roseola. And I said, well, if she's got roseola, I'll come over. I don't think I'm at risk for roseola. I said, then they were thinking she might have chickenpox. I said, chickenpox is a no-go for me. I said, I know I've had them as a young child and I've had my shingles shot, but that's not 100%. And I don't want to be exposed to that virus and have shingles or something. So, and then they ended up hand, foot, and mouth. And I said, that's definitely a no-go.
Yeah. I'm not coming over for that.
You're the only one of my 4 kids that got hand, foot, and mouth as children.
My girls have never had it. I've never had any of the 3 of them have it.
Sam got it as an adult in 2019.
Oh, that's right.
Sam and baby Junie's daddy both got hand, foot, and mouth in November, right before Thanksgiving. And Sam got over it. Huh?
This last year?
No, 2019.
Oh, 2000. Oh, that's right. And Andrew got sick.
And then he never got better.
With maybe
COVID. With probably like early day COVID. But anyway, you had it. And I don't know why Andrew didn't get it when you had it. You were like 5.
Interesting. Wow.
And you had it in your mouth pretty bad. And I remember they gave me some lidocaine for you to rinse with to try to numb your mouth. But I'm sure you loved that.
Yes.
Because you love so much stuff in your mouth.
Love it when people poke around in my mouth. It's my favorite. That's why I love going to the dentist so much. Well, if you're new watching us, we're a mother and daughter team in Washington State.
You should just do Stitch With Us chats.
I know. Just come and stitch and we'll just talk your ear off. We actually do get around to talking about stitching. It just takes a little bit because we got to catch up, you know.
Somebody said in the comments a couple weeks ago, was it Heather? That she found our chit chat very soothing.
Soothing. Oh,
I'll tell you one thing right now. Whoever, I can't remember off the top of my head who said that. The week I had last week, there were not very many soothing words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, not mine either. I had kind of.
It was not a soothing week.
Yesterday I was, okay, this is still not stitching related, but I was canning peaches. Because I was afraid I was going to get COVID, and those peaches that I bought a box of peaches and they weren't quite ripe when I bought them. So I knew I had a few days and then they were ripe. Boom, I got to do it. Oh no, I might get COVID. I really have to do it. So I was canning these peaches yesterday. And you know, when you can peaches, you have to, what do you call it? You
blanch them,
take the skins off, and okay, no big deal. So I got all the skins off, chopped them. I got them loaded in. I made the syrup, great. Okay, so I got them all in the syrup in the jars, put the first load in the canner. I was gonna get 9 jars. So I did like 4 jars in, but by the time, okay, I only had wide mouth. I had 4 narrow mouth rings, or not rings, but lids. And then I have a number of wide mouth, but I only have a few wide mouth jars. And at the moment, they all had milk in them. So then to get to these wide mouth jars, I had to figure out what to do with the massive amounts of milk I have in my fridge first. So I'm dumping milk into pitchers or whatever, like I'm dealing with the milk so I can get these jars. So just to get the jars, I already have this ordeal. Wash the jars. I wash the jars. I load the peaches into the correct jars because at first I put them in the narrow mouth jars, not realizing I only had 4 rings. So
girlfriend, you need to count that out.
Well, I just didn't even realize I was that low on narrow mouth, on the regular mouth rings. So, or lids.
Like finding any?
Huh?
Have you been able to find any lids?
I did earlier this year, no problem at my like farm store, but I haven't bought any since then. But I
saw mine online, but yeah.
Put the first load into the canner and lowering the thing, and it gets like this far in, and one of the wide mouth jars cracks. And I catch it like. The pages don't all go out. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm going to salvage these. I'm going to like carefully remove it. I take the, what did I do? I took the jar out and put it in something, but all the syrup, of course, went out into the canner. So now it's like sticky syrup water. Gross. I hate that.
I do too.
I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be what it is. So I put the peaches in a bowl or something, get another wide mouth jar of milk out, dump out the milk, wash the jar, put the peaches in, put the ring back on, put the lid in the ring, put it in the canner. It's fine. I do a load. Great. Take those out, put the second load of 4 jars in. One of the wide mouth jars cracks in the same time and place because the syrup inside had cooled so much. By the time I had dealt with all of that, I think the temperature was just too hot. So I'm like, at this point, I thought I was like so close to being done. I was like so close to just putting these peaches in and being done canning. And I'm tired and I'm cranky and I'm cussing up a storm these peaches. I'm like, Jesse, I need you to come help me. So we like do the same thing, same rigmarole. I get another wide mouth jar out of milk, dump the milk.
Well, and those jars maybe were still too cold from being in the fridge.
Yeah, really good. Oh, and the other thing was when I went to go wash the jar from the milk, I thought I was done with the syrup. So I'd put the pot with the syrup in it in the sink, thinking I didn't need it anymore, but there was some leftovers. But I ran the water into the syrup. So when I went to go refill it, I was like, you know what? I tasted it. I was like, this is just going to be a lighter syrup. I don't know. Because I'm not making another whole batch of freaking syrup.
Well, I have to say that I, over the years, decided that I load up one batch, one canner full, and put my syrup in. I don't put syrup in the other ones until I'm ready to put the lids on them, because I used to have that same thing happen where I'd be lowering them and there's, but you know, here's the deal. I bought a box of pears a week ago, but they were so green. They've been in my car where it's been like
still not ripe.
I didn't look yesterday because I didn't go anywhere yesterday.
Better look today, because sometimes
I look
like that.
I know. When I looked Friday though, they were still hard as rock. I'm like, they might not ripen. They might have been so unripe. One was getting kind of brown.
Hopefully they don't mold before they ripen, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, but I don't have anywhere cold to put them, so.
Yeah.
And they need to ripen, and I was hoping to can them this weekend, but here we are Sunday, and I don't really want to spend tomorrow doing it.
Oh,
but
man, sad.
I know. I don't know I need to go look at them when we get done taping here, but yeah. And I didn't do peaches because they were too stinking expensive.
Yeah.
$37 a box.
Insane. That's crazy. They're not that much here, but they weren't at the place. I think I can get them for like 20.
I was going to get corn this weekend. I might go do corn tomorrow. That's easy enough to do. Just scrape it, freeze it. So, well, I'm sorry, honey. And of course,
fine. I got them done. I was just like so over it.
I canned
any soothing words coming out of my mouth at that moment.
No. I canned at your house last year when I was.
Oh yeah.
I didn't can during your thyroid, but we came over and watched the girls.
When Jesse and I went on our anniversary trip.
And I canned my pears at your house.
Oh.
It was like 500 degrees in your kitchen. But when they turn, you got to do it.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't too bad. We've got the air conditioning in, so that's
good. You didn't have that last summer.
I didn't. When did we put that in? I thought we put that in during the really hot time.
Not in the kitchen.
Weird.
I don't think so. I don't even remember, but you must have had your big one in the other room because that came right after your surgery, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was like 1 billion degrees.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Okay, so here we go. I'm stitching.
I have a finish that's a previous finish, but I thought I'd show it because it's related to our giveaway later. I just thought, and it's fall, it's September, so I pulled out Pumpkin Hollow Farms. Is this Little House Needleworks? Yeah.
Yes.
And I need to finish it. I actually saw somebody on Instagram when I was kind of scrolling for inspiration who had it finished on this cute little, it was like a 2-legged stand, almost like a washboard. But it was
I bet you Hobby Lobby's got something cute like
that. I should
maybe not exactly, but something tall and skinny.
Yeah, I should go look for something like that. I really liked it. It just jumped out at me as a really cute way to finish it. Could lean it on my on the wall on my piano top or something. And I stitched this a couple of years ago, really. I don't remember when I finished it.
I think I think it was a stitch along with Priscilla and Chelsea
I think so too.
in 2018 or 19.
Probably, yeah. Well, the person who finished it really cute, that got inspiration from them on Instagram, was 2018.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm betting it was a 2018 thing.
I was just starting to stitch again.
I love
that
it.
summer.
Yeah, this was one of the first things I kind of feel like I started again
Yeah.
when I was really starting to stitch up some more. Anyway, I just thought that would be kind
So
of
cute, and that was a cute finish.
yeah, I'm gonna fully finish that. I want to fully finish that for this fall and be able to put it up. So
Yeah.
and I did get, so I did not end up with sticky board that was big enough. So I ended up getting foam board, and I'm gonna try to finish my big piece on foam board to enter into the fair.
Lace it or pin it?
What should I do? Opinions, people. I've always pinned, I have pinned and laced sometimes, but I'm
well,
not.
I would definitely pin it. I would definitely pin it before you lace it.
Yeah.
I think lacing something that big. I mean, the problem I always have with that is you've got.
Talking about my Joyful World piece. It's that big one. If you aren't sure what I'm talking about, I'm going to enter it into the fair next week.
You can't use just one length of thread on something that big. So you're lacing it, and then you got to stop, because if you had that big of a thread, you would have so many knots in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had problems when I had to knot my thread and start a new thread. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe I'll look on YouTube for tutorials for how to like finish frame.
Yes. You know who has a good lacing video? Kitten Stitcher.
Okay.
I think she's got one, a really official looking video. I'm sure Vanna Pfeiffer has one.
Yeah, she might too, but I'll go look at both of those and see if I can find
And
them.
you know, I shouldn't be so negative about lacing, because my experience with lacing was I had to just kind of learn it on my own. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, somebody must have told me. I don't know who would have, maybe Edna from Stitch and Stuff.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have friends that were doing that level of cross stitching. So maybe if I watched a good tutorial and
probably
maybe on a piece that big, it would be good to lace it and pin it.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, because it might make it really secure. And I want to finish, I'm finishing it for the fair, but I want it finished nice so I can then hang it. Like I want that's my finish. Like
did you get your registrations in?
Mm-hmm. I did. Yep. So we're all registered. Liddy needs to really probably be cross stitching while she's down there sick.
You don't have a fever? Get cross stitching.
I know. I think they need to go in next weekend. So.
Oh, she better get going.
Better hurry up her little bun on that. But Millie finished hers. Did she show it last week? All finished? Fully finished? The boots? I mean, the boots is not actually what she's entering, so I guess that doesn't matter. She did fully finish, or she did finish it, but I'll let her show it.
She had some back stitching to go when she showed that last week.
It is done, and she'll show it next week when she's feeling better.
Yeah.
Loved it.
But she's entering the Forest Friends that you finished.
She's entering Forest Friends, yeah.
For her birthday or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm hoping it finished okay. I think it'll be fine for a kid, for a juvenile.
Well, did you ever find out if they said they have to be able to see the back of your work?
It says nothing about that in the rules. So, and it has to be framed. So I don't know how you could possibly frame it and have them see
I don't know, but people always talked about that. And I was thinking the other day, well, how did they frame it? I mean, how did they enter it then?
They judge it if you're supposed to be able to see the back.
Yeah, I mean, even if you lace it, they're not gonna be able to see the back of your work.
If anybody's watching and they know anything about why everybody talks about if you enter it into the fair, your back needs to be neat, tell me about that. Because I can't figure out how that would even.
Maybe that's not it. Maybe they just look at your stitches really well, and that's what I was thinking about.
Maybe they just want to make sure your stitches are good, and maybe that you don't have threads carried across too far in the back. Yeah. We do have a featured friend today, and it's Aunt Nancy. And
Nancy,
she sent in a video. Let me see. There's a couple different emails. She sent in, this is Little House Needleworks Winter ABCs. And I will put the picture right here. Works Winter ABCs. I believe this was a bring go start this year. I used the called for colors, except I substituted Classic Color Works Apple Fritter for CCW Licorice Red, because that's what I had in my stash. I also changed the CCW Bamboo letters for Classic Color Works Blue Beatrice. I also changed the N and G to Bamboo for my initials. Oh, that's cute. I put the 22 where snowflakes should be. I don't remember what fabric I used.
It's so cute.
It's adorable. It's really
And
cute.
I actually liked your red choice when Sarah was showing it to me.
The red stood out to me too.
Yeah, I like that red.
It's a lot. Red. So wait, the red was supposed to be licorice, but she used apple fritter.
No, I think it was supposed to be apple fritter, and she chose
substituted apple fritter for licorice red.
Oh,
does that mean she used the apple fritter?
Yes.
Instead of the licorice red, probably. It's really.
I never even heard of that color.
Me either. I've never seen it. It's never been in a pattern.
I'll have to look for that one. I like it.
Oh, cute. I like alphabet ones where the words where the letters
make
words.
words.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So that was really cute.
Yeah. Thank you, Aunt Nancy. Speaking of Aunt Nancy, she got to go to the Minnesota State Fair this weekend.
I saw a picture. I thought it looked like it was at the fair, which is a really big fair. You said a couple.
That's a huge fair. Yeah. Midwest takes their fairs very seriously. But I messaged her and said, "Did you go to the textile barn or whatever they have there?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, I recognized a lot of cross stitch patterns people had entered, of patterns that I see around. And then she said, "I always am really impressed with the quilts, because the quilts are just stunning."
Quilts are like, I find myself completely impressed by quilts.
Yeah. So she did get to go do that, which is my favorite part of the fair. I wish we had time to go to the Puyallup, but.
Well, maybe you can come over here. We have good quilts.
Yeah, I would love to. And the Puyallup fair is really busy. Dad's off this Wednesday. Because we're getting our passports. We have to go to the post office to do we got our pictures taken, and we have to go fill it and send it in, basically.
Right.
So we have an appointment to do that at noon. He was maybe going to go work with Carl, so then we wouldn't be able to go to the fair. But I would take the rest of the day off if he would take me to the fair.
The fair, that would be fun.
I need some fair food.
That's it. I just always like to go see the animals and the textiles and stuff.
Does your fair have lots of rides and stuff like the Puyallup does?
They have a ride section. Yeah. We've never really done them, but.
Well, when the girls came over a few years ago here, we took them to the Puyallup fair, and they did their first rides. They'd never been on rides.
We haven't done really any other rides much either since then because of COVID. Like,
I don't know. COVID kind of messed up everybody's life.
I know. And
dang virus.
Well,
I'm just thankful your girls are all getting it like right now at the same time, because then you're not going to be, if you and Jesse get it, maybe I would think you guys would be having it by now.
I would think so. I mean,
we're pretty fast incubator.
He actually just got a booster, so I kind of feel like he's not going to get it. I kind of feel nervous, but I'm not nervous, like really worried, but I kind of feel like I haven't had a booster. I was actually waiting for this new round of boosters to come out. I thought all summer, I should do it. But then I found out in September they were going to do this super booster or whatever. That's not what they're calling it, but that's what I'm calling it in my head. And just wait until September and then get the better booster. But then, of course, I think that's supposed to come out after Labor Day, which is tomorrow.
Yes. And that's kind of why
I should go get the booster. But at this point, I've already been exposed. So not helpful this time around. But
and I think it's a fast spreader. I mean, I think,
I would have it by now, hopefully.
I would think so. That's what they kept talking about, the transmissibility rate.
Well, I think so. The girls' ballet teacher got COVID. Did I tell you that? She texted me on Thursday saying, "I'm really sorry. I just tested positive for COVID. Not happy about it." And we were already not going to class that night because of the pool party. So I'm thinking if they did get it from her, which is possible, she's the only person I know for sure that we've been around that had COVID. That would have been Tuesday. And then Liddy was exhibiting symptoms.
It's pretty fast. It's a couple days. It's not 10 days out anymore.
So I'm hoping that the fact that I don't have it maybe means
I think so. I
I'm
think
just
you're
going to
good.
think positive thoughts. I did just
Yep.
retest a little bit ago because I've been so tired, but it was negative. So I don't know. Yay. Good. That's a good thing. I'm happy about that.
Just praying. Pray you guys don't get it.
Yeah. Because we're
We'll
supposed
have
to
it
start school
behind you.
tomorrow and I'd really like to start, or Tuesday, tomorrow or Tuesday, one of the days, depending on how we're
I
feeling.
mean, it's kind of overwhelming to have 3 sick kids at one time, but it's really nice. I had 2 with chicken
Yeah.
pox at the time.
I'd rather
It was
have
great.
it this way.
Yeah, just got it all done rather than.
And they
stretch
all
it
like
out.
are just entertaining each other and they're like
Yeah.
on screen, so they're not really bickering. And they never get to just have like blanket permission to be on screens. Even usually when they're
Oh.
sick, I don't usually just
Yeah,
all day long.
I have to go to the library and get them some more books.
I know. Well, they
Well, they can read their school books. They can do their school
I
books.
know. We're homeschool. We could start school when they have COVID.
Lots of good books. Anyway, what'd you work on this week? Or do you have any
Yeah.
finishes?
I have no finishes. Do you have finishes? I told you any finishes. No, it's been a while. I need to get a finish. But I've been working on some of my big projects so much that I feel like
Yeah.
they're sort of far out. What was that?
I feel good about that. I like pulling out my big ones and making some progress, even though they're not finished yet.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that too. There's kind of a funny audio sound happening. I'm not sure if it's on your end or mine. I'm gonna just mess with my. So I finished up. Yeah, are you hearing a weird audio sound?
No.
No? Okay, I'm hoping it's not on the recording. I finished up my August. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can hear me, okay.
I can hear you.
I finished up my August magazine monthly challenge first. And I think the only thing I really had left after last week was maybe my blue flower alpaca farm. And that looks like this. I've been working on
Yeah.
my little llama is no longer floating. My little alpaca. So I did a bunch of the grass.
So cute.
I really do like this pattern. It's so tiny. It is so tiny. It's 40 count over 2, which is probably the smallest I've ever done. What?
Speaking of which, 40 count. Oh, Jan Hicks put something up on Facebook. She got some pattern, I think, that came in the mail from Expo, Needlework Expo. And she was showing it. And it's a really, I forget what pattern it was, but it's a really pretty pattern. Jan does beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
And Carolyn Zook says, well, that's beautiful. I'm sure you'll finish that on some 80 count something. Jan's always on 56 count, 40 count. And I'm like, 18 count. 80 count.
80 count something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I worked on my kind of, there was a day before starting the ABCINGO, so I think I pulled this out. I'm working on that mermaid square. If you've been watching, you know I've been working on that square forever.
Well, it's pretty much how all those go.
But I'm getting there. I've got the mermaid done.
Oh, you do?
Pretty much finished the mermaid, and I'm starting the blue of the water around her. Can you kind of see it?
Okay.
And so then it's
Not
filled
long.
in with there's a fish or something and an anchor still down there, and then just the little border, the little black border around it, and then that square will be done. Still a lot to
Be
do.
done. Wow.
But yeah, so here's how it's coming so far, the whole thing.
Oh, it's so cute and little.
It is little. What did we decide we were doing this on? Let's see, it's on
30
count.
28 count over 1.
Over
I
1.
think.
Maybe that's the smallest I've ever done. That's the smallest.
That's what my hoity-toity's on.
40 over 2 is the same as 20 over 1. Right?
20 over 1 is the same as, I think.
28 over.
Yeah.
The 28 over 1 is smaller.
Yeah.
It's
cute.
I guess. It's just that the holes on the 40 count are so teensy weensy that like it feels.
You gotta have a teeny tiny needle for that too.
I do have a little tiny needle. Yeah. I don't even know what size it is. I just found the smallest one I had. I probably should go buy some more small ones for that.
Yeah, I was working on my ABCINGO piece for the day, and I have a really tiny needle in it. It's kind of bent. I need to get a different needle.
Little tiny one. So then the first day of ABCINGO came and P was called. So I have pin cushion. for my Stitching by the Sea pincushion by Jeanette Douglas. Let's see, did I have to pull anything? No, I think last week
You were good.
to keep going, yeah.
Mhm.
I finished that square. I substituted the purple because I just didn't have the same exact purple on hand, and for some reason I thought I did, but I actually like it. I kind of like, it's not too different than in the photo. I don't even know what color it would have looked like,
Cute.
but I liked that very like bright purple.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that I really liked about this piece was just sort of how bright some of it was.
Yeah.
So my purple is a little different. It's a little brighter, but I like it. So I'm going.
Yeah. And you know what?
I looked at all my stash purples and thought, oh, that's the one I liked.
Yeah, out of all those notebooks of floss you have, you didn't have the right purple floss.
It's like a 3800. That's like the one generation, the one century or whatever. I don't have very much of variety. Then V was called the next night. I don't have a photo, but this is my big dimensions piece, Valley of the River Beck. And this is where I'm at.
Look at
I
that.
stitched a whole bunch of dark brown and like some of this little half stitches. And I think I did almost all of this pillar.
Wow.
And when I'm working on it, I don't even see the picture, but then I sort of sit back. It is like a mosaic.
Very much a picture, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I just stitched the little entry to the garden.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I was working on. It was just.
What a bargain that was.
I know. It's so pretty. It still has so much to go. I'm always like, oh, look how far I am. And then I open up the fabric and I'm like,
I'll look that up to see the rest of what's coming.
Yeah.
Valley of the River Beck.
Yeah, there's water and more buildings and it is very pretty. Yeah, I can pull it too. Valley of the River. I think it's a painting,
I'm sure it probably is with a name like that.
Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, you can buy that pattern.
Just the pattern?
On Etsy.
Here's
hold yours up again.
Yeah, this is different. That's not what mine looks like. Is this
yours is
like what yours is looking like?
No, it was more pastel-y. This is
not what mine looks like either. Mine, this is probably.
It's a painting, and you can buy it on framed art for $138.99.
This is the one I have. Dimensions, Valley of the River.
Yeah.
This is a paint.
Yeah, you got a lot. Oh, look at that bridge. Okay.
That's a paint by number, but the picture certainly looks like cross stitch. Yeah, that bridge is going to be a lot. Yeah, I don't know why I can't find a good picture.
Oh, okay. Here, I found the kit on Amazon.
Oh, really?
$100.
Yeah, that's
$100. $99.99.
Paint by numbers. I think I got it for, what did I get it for? Like $10 or something? The whole kit.
Oh, or $5. I don't even think you paid $10 for it.
Cheapo amount.
Yeah.
Goodwill. Totally unopened kit.
$100 kit. I mean,
wow. I love it. It is pretty. When I was growing up, or like for a period in high school, maybe. I'm still hearing that weird sound. I don't know.
I don't hear anything, honey.
I used to work on just those kinds of pieces, like not exactly full coverage, but basically full coverage.
Yeah.
And I loved working on those. So it kind of just takes me back to that zone where I.
Looks like a tapestry when you hold it up.
Yeah, and I think I've always loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And like that.
It'll be really pretty. It'll be really pretty framed and hanging on the wall.
Yeah. And another tapestry I'm working on. I worked on this for my free choice. What I need to do is like take a photo of this really quick and then I can zoom in better maybe. Okay. It is Annie Stegg's Tiny Traveler, Hade.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
epic.
Epic, huge. I'm up here.
Mm-hmm. That very tippy
in this
top
corner here. But I did make a lot of progress on this. I'm kind of getting in a rhythm of knowing how to park now. And it's nice because then I don't have to start and stop threads all the time, which I'm appreciating that.
Yeah, parking is.
But now I see why people have those windy bobbin things that they magnet on their fabric, because I have a lot of this going on.
I have one sitting here that I need to pull out and use.
So here's
wow, you have made a lot of progress.
I did, because I think last week I was just up here. Maybe I had finished these two.
So how far down are you going to go before you start parking to the side?
Well, that was my question. I was gonna maybe watch some more of Teresa Little Stitcher and see if she gets to that in her tutorials, because I wasn't sure, do I go page 1 and then stop and
do
go down? Like, what do people do? What would be the most?
I feel like people talk about doing a page, like they complete a page.
Yeah, I kind of want to complete a page.
Yeah, which way are you going to go? Down and then over, or down and then across and down, and you know what I mean? Like,
right. And I see now too why some people do it in those diagonal strips. Like they'll do like 4 squares, or whatever. And because then you're kind of working
down and across at the same time. Yeah.
So I'm not really sure, but I just decided I would. She said always park down. I thought I'll just try that. I'm going to always park down for now and see how I like that. And it is nice because then I know exactly like all the things I've parked. I always know where I'm going to look to park them if I can. And if there isn't something there, then I park them over. If there is one in the next 2 squares.
Yeah, over.
But not any further than that, because she said don't do it further than that. Sorry, my eye got really itchy and now it's like red.
I need to rewatch her again.
So that's what I was doing, but I'm not sure because I'm only about let's see, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've started parking in the 7th square, so I'm in the 700s. So I only have 2 more squares left to park. Like, let me just show you. So this is the 7th square. This is 800s and 900. When I get to here, should I end them all? That seems silly because the color scheme is probably going to stay.
That's the end of the page?
That would be the end of the page, I think. I think it's 10 by.
Well, are you going to continue working down, or are you going to go to page 2?
No, I want to finish page 1. So then would maybe I just park over and start going up?
Yeah, or you could end them and start over. I mean, there's no real police on that.
Well,
if you don't want them hanging down while you're finishing up that page, I would just.
This is where
I would end up.
I know you're not supposed to show patterns, but this is
nobody can tell.
Nobody's gonna stitch.
So I'm like, I would probably stop at the bottom of the page, and if there's nowhere to park those over, I would just end them. I wouldn't let them hang till I got down. You know what I mean?
To page whatever that would be, page 12.
Yeah, that's not even going to be page 2, because I bet page 2 is the next page over, right?
Right. Right. I don't want to
3.
like leave them dangling.
No, I would end them at the end of the page break. I think I would end them.
Or should I keep working down? I guess that now that I'm thinking back through her video, she would keep working down. She would go to page 12 and work down.
And I'm not going to do that.
I just assumed I was going to go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'm too afraid of making a mistake and pulling the wrong page up.
Oh. Well, it says on the page.
I know.
Well.
I know, but I don't trust it.
Make sure I can actually read that number right.
Anyway, I guess it's really a matter of preference. If you want to work down, I don't want to work. I'm working across the top.
You're doing their season.
Right. It's just all a matter of preference, honey. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
No.
If you want to jump down to 12 and keep going down the bottom of the piece, down the side of the piece, you could do that.
I'll have to think about it. Yeah, I'll have to think about it because I don't know. I haven't decided.
I mean, look at me, like I'm such an expert on page.
I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking about doing because I was kind of doing diagonal until I watched her and then I just went down.
Yeah. I don't know if every page lends itself to going down.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it would
be. The one
that
she did in her sample on that tutorial is like a long round one. It's like it makes sense to work down because it's very long and oval.
Right.
Mine is horizontal. Well, mine is like longer this way and a little shorter, but it's just a big rectangle. I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to you. If you have a strong opinion, you can tell us in the comments what you do.
Yeah, let us know what you do for your hates.
When you get
some
to
people,
the bottom
some
of
people do the whole typewriter method where they're just scattering across.
I would mess up so much.
I know. It's like, no, it's a no for me, dog.
Maybe the more I would get experience, the better I would be.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And then there's that whole idea of Royal Rose. Have you looked that up?
What?
Royal Rose, ROWS. There's a Facebook group for it, and there is a video. A gal, I think it's, if you search Royal Rose on YouTube, it'll pull her stuff up.
Okay.
And it's a whole nother way of parking and stitching. I briefly looked at it, but I haven't finished it. I don't remember how it goes because I'm just kind of finding my way.
Oh, well, I'll have to watch it because I'm curious to see all the things I need to know.
See all the things. Okay. What else?
That
was your
all my stuff.
Oh, okay.
I worked on just 5 things this week.
Did you show 5 things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2.
Okay, so for me, because there was kind of a lapse of time between the end of the month or when I ended my magazine monthly, I had met all my goals. Well, all but one. And so I just stitched on what I wanted the last week in the evening. So I kind of focused on my 25/7 piece, which is button up. I don't think I had the little boy done last week.
You didn't have him all done. You had like a split done.
I finished him. I got some green to do here and then just fill in the sky. The sky is in this taupey color.
That's cute.
So he's going to be done soon. And then I can just do the outlining around the squares. So it's within reach.
It is. You're so close.
I haven't worked really diligently on this one this week because then ABCINGO took over. But the piece I was kind of in love with that I worked on several evenings was my Woodland Fairy from my, don't have a really good picture of this, but that's the top half of the pattern. You can stitch from that, Godspeed. And I love the colors. They're really soft, but it's going to be a little hard to see. But I think I only had her antlers done and part of her ears. So I did all of her hair, which is like 7 colors of yellow in there. No, that's 7, but it's a lot.
Oh.
And then I filled in her face, but it's so pastel-y and soft. But so I'm ready to start her neck and then her clothes.
Yeah.
So I worked a lot. That was a lot because there really was like, her hair was kind of confetti and there was probably 4 or 5 yellows in there.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I kind of fudged it a couple places because I was off one and I thought nobody is even going to know.
Yeah.
So those 2 got a lot of love before ABCINGO started, and then ABCINGO started. And so for P, I have a Plum Street, and it's Babushka's Blossom.
Yay, I love this one.
I started a long time ago.
That was one of your other early start.
Early, like very early, yeah. Probably 2018. So I had previously stitched this border to here, because that's kind of a page break, I think. And I had that done and her done. And I basically just worked on the pumpkin because this pumpkin is no joke. And that white house.
Huge.
That white house is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But I did fill in. So on my little babushka girl here, I finished filling in there. I filled in there and did the ladder. And I did this
cute
line. So
that is cute.
And this is what I've got. So oops, my needle's stuck. So this is her so far. But I went to work on this vine and I don't have the vine color in there anymore. I must have taken it out.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. So anyway, she got some love, but yeah, she does need to get finished. This pattern is copyrighted 2016, but I wasn't stitching in 16. So
It was
when
probably
did I start? Dad was doing my countertops one summer, and we got the new stove. It wasn't my new countertops that I have now. I feel like it was 2018. I don't know why I got that
Probably
date.
18. Well, you're talking about this one in particular, or when you started stitching again?
Well, when I started stitching again, and I started stitching in the summer because I remember sitting here stitching and going out to thread needle. Must have been, and I must have started her in the fall. The other piece, that was not called on my bingo board yet, but I worked on, is my calendar piece. Where is my needle? What in the world? Very limited start on this because then I got sidetracked, but I need to work on my September square. Whoops.
You and the version of this piece.
I know, I just started the border. You can see the little X's there. So that was, I forget why I got sidetracked though. I remember working on it and then something, I don't know what happened that night. No idea. I had a really crappy week at work, and I would use the SH word for crap if I could, but I won't do that on YouTube. It was so bad, you guys. Our whole system kept crashing all week long, and it was like, and other people above me that trickled work down to me, they had pockets where they could keep working. So my workload was just growing, but we couldn't do anything. And our IT department doesn't communicate, so nobody knows if there's like a time when it's going to be fixed or what's going on. Nothing. So my boss just kept saying, you put in for your regular time, you're getting paid for this. This is not your problem. Because the way my at-home work program works is that if my power goes out at home or my internet goes down, I can't put in time. I have to either go into the office and work. I can drag my laptop in there, or I can take PTO. But if it's a center-based issue, I showed up for work. I couldn't do my job. It was very stressful. It was very frustrating. And yeah, let's just put it. So there was a couple nights when I was pretty toast. That might be why I didn't work that night. I might have knit, because I did knit a little bit this week. So Babushka's Blossoms was for my P, and then V was called. So that was my Four Seasons Girls for Vivaldi. And I worked more than an hour on each of these pieces. I basically just made them my evening piece. But I worked a long time on her. I got all of this done. I got this done.
Cute.
And so I'm on track, I think, to get her done before the official first day of fall.
I think
I got a little to do there. And then her arms and her little feet and a little bit on there. So I'll get her done. But that I love working on.
Get her done.
Get her done. I'm going to be really sorry when this piece is done. I'm going to look forward to working on it.
You'll be so happy to see it on your wall.
I will.
Wherever you do it.
I will. And then that was for my V, and then X. So the X was kind of a free stitch for everybody. It was kind of like X for cross stitch. So I pulled out my Butterfly Dreams by Barbara Anna. That was I had downloaded one of her last stitch alongs, which was the winged moth. I haven't started it, but I wanted to have it in my arsenal. And then she offered this as a free. And so I had only done her face, and I had none of this hair done. So I did all of her down here and all of this last night.
Cute.
And she's got butterflies. Oh, real quickly, you'll see all those butterflies around her. She's not very big. And she only comes down to here.
Yeah.
So she's like half of her. So I really like it. I like it on the blue fabric, and yeah, I just like her. Like her a lot. So that was that. And then I worked on, well, my M for today, because M is called for today, is my Ring Around the Rose Tree by Mirabilia. And I did work on that before we started Flosstube, but I'm not going to show it yet. But the other thing I had was it was a new start, and it was in honor of Gail from Gail's Golden Needle birthday. We did P. Buckley Moss Start Along.
Yes.
So I'm doing this P. Buckley Moss called Terry Knot. I've had it. It's really glary. There we go. I've had it a really long time. I actually got another copy of it. The copy that I'm working from, my friend had stitched years ago. And these patterns, if you don't know, they're like this.
Yeah.
And so what happens is the crease wears out and you can't always see the stitches to line them up. And so the copy that this was like $5. So I went ahead and got a new one in case I needed it. And so I basically started right in the middle at the top, which I haven't done for a long time. So I'm just working right here at the top of her little hat or scarf, whatever it is. And there's a lot of stitching on these. These are no joke. And it's dark stitch. It's black. Well, I think it was black and a gray. And that's just doesn't look like nothing. But that was a good evening. I don't know if it was a whole evening, but I was going to start it on my lunch break on the 31st, which was her birthday. And that was like, again, work. I should have gotten a lot done. The problem, Sarah said, oh, lots of free stitching time. But it wasn't really, because what was happening was we could get online sometimes and it would be working, and then all of a sudden it would crash. Yeah. And so I always felt like I needed to be checking all the time. So I couldn't, it wasn't like I had a real day off. It was just, it was stressful is what it was. So I didn't really do a lot of extra stitching. Yeah. And then I did some knitting. So I'm doing that really cute little Milo vest that I've stitched many times, but I've never done one this tiny before. From baby boy Gats, who's still safely baking away in mommy's tummy, which I'm very thankful for. Mm-hmm. There's not a picture. I must have printed the picture for this little vest. Oh, there it is. So it's got lots of options for cables down there. I might not do the cable. I might just do a non-cabled version and just whip it around. Mm-hmm. Because I'm using kind of a variegated yarn, and I don't feel like cables show up very well. Mm-hmm. When there's variegation in the yarn. But I'm using a Hobby Lobby yarn, and I have one more repeat increase. So basically, I mean, it looks like nothing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I only had like a little bit. I did quite a bit. Yeah. So there's like a 2-row repeat that you do 9 times to increase, and then I'm going to be binding off to make the straps, I think. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, this is a nice little knit. I'm trying to knit more. I really do like knitting. I just don't have enough time in my day.
I know, me too.
And that's about everything I worked on.
Okay. What are your plans for the week?
My plans are to do whatever Carolyn says I have to do when she pulls the numbers for ABCINGO. But I also need to work on my Whip Go pieces, which is my hoity-toity, which is also going to be on my ABCINGO, but I need to do more than an hour. I have to do 4 hours on that. And my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow needs to come out. So I'm hoping to start putting a little bit of work into those and working a little bit more on P. Buckley Moss.
Nice.
I was going to start, that's not until later in the month. I was going to start my Autumn Quaker on the 22nd, which is the autumn, or autumn solstice or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So that's coming up.
It's the equinox.
I have that all kitted up and ready to go. So then I have 3 of the Quakers going. I don't own the spring one yet.
The girls must be feeling better. Can you hear them? They're like squealing and stuff down there.
I heard some little squeaking. Yeah. What are your plans? So ABCINGO?
ABCINGO, and then I want to try and frog out the part of the Snow Queen that I messed up the half a stitch on her face. Yeah. Not very much, so I should just frog it. That is my Whip Go piece, so I will count that frogging towards my Whip Go.
Oh yeah, whenever you touch it, it counts.
Yeah, and then I think I want to try and at least finish one of Millie's sleeve lengthening business on that sweater I made for her, and then the sleeves were too short, so I'm to the point where I'm ready to stitch the daisy, the fancy little daisy stitch. So I just need to pull the pattern out and do that. I could probably do that this afternoon and finish one thing, and then
I'll go fast.
Other than that, I'm just working on, yeah, whatever gets called for ABCINGO.
I know, it's kind of fun. She was kind of late pulling the numbers yesterday, I feel like.
I didn't.
Carolyn, if you're watching, we need those pulled by 5.
5 the night before
5 p.m., yeah.
for the next day.
Yeah.
Why do you need them called for?
She's pulling them for the next day, love.
I know. Why do you need them before 5 for the next day?
Because that's when I start watching for it. And I'm usually excited about knowing what it's going to be.
You don't actually need it. You just want it. You really just need it sometime before midnight.
I like to know ahead what I'm going to be working on the next day.
I see.
So I think what happens is I get off work at 4:30. I'm making dinner. I'm like, oh, I wonder what the bingo call is. Usually she does it early, but yesterday, I don't know what time it was yesterday.
I do that, but it's like at 10 at night. So.
Oh no, I do it around dinner
I
time.
wonder. I finished.
I think
working on now. What am I working on?
I went to dinner with friends and she hadn't pulled them yet. I thought, oh, that's late.
So I have haul because of a sweet friend who sent me goodie watches. So Julie Dixon sent these to me because she knew I stitched the Autumn's Poppies by the Cottage Garden Samplings. And she said she had all of these. I'm thinking they were probably her mom's. They must have been in her mom's stash. And sent them to me. So thank you so much. And there's a few other things I'll show too. So because I really love these, I really want to stitch these. They're not like enough. I couldn't do them in 1 month each. So I don't know that I'd be able to do them monthly. Maybe if I kind of stitched a little monogamously. I'll just show them though, because they're so.
Let's be honest and let's be real. You're not going to stitch them monogamously.
No, I'd have to stitch. But I'll just show them through really quick. So these are monthly. They're the January's, no, what are they called? My Garden Journal. And so I have already stitched the one. It was that one I made into a pillow a few.
That's the same designer that's doing the Woodland Animal series?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, she's prolific. Oh, that's so pretty.
Love this one. Here. That's January. That was February. This is March. March's Daffodil.
Oh, I like that one.
No, and here's April. April's Daisy. Oh, look at the little chickie.
Oh, sweet.
And then May. Flowers, garden.
You could make it a 2-year project and just work. You probably could get them done in 2 years.
And then
start them all in 1 year.
June.
And then next year. That's gorgeous.
Oh,
maybe I need to stitch those too.
No, you be my honeysuckle, I'll be your honeybee.
Oh.
So I love this one too. July's. Is it July's?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Just the smell of the summer can make me fall in love. And then she didn't. I already did August, so I already have August. Fallen leaf is summer's wave. Goodbye.
Oh.
This was morning glory. Yeah, September's morning glory. So each one has a flower. October. Not cute with the pumpkin and the sunset.
Yes.
So cute. And then November. I think she didn't have December.
Oh, that's pretty too. I like them all.
I know, me too. The colors are amazing. She also sent along this hilarious one, All the Single Ladies. It's by Vintage Needle Arts.
Okay, so I have that other cow one for you that came from Sharon.
Yeah, I can't remember what one that is.
Oh, it's a funny cow one. You could have a little cow wall.
I know, my little cow kitchen.
Oh, that's
Madame Chantilly ballet, because
yes, I've seen that one. I've looked at that one multiple times.
That is so cute. Super pretty. And then In a Mermaid's Garden, this is Teresa Koga, I think. No, Teresa Webendorfer. This is another Vintage Needle Arts.
That's pretty. That's pretty flowers.
And
why am I yawning?
And then is this the one you were thinking that you loved, that you wanted? Love is Knitting for You.
I think that was the one, yeah.
That's so cute.
I do want to
love these designs, these foray ones.
That's the one I want.
It's hard to it's hard not to knit stitch monogamously when you see such cute, oh, I just love this designer. I could stitch everything they ever do. And then I see somebody else, I'm like, I love this designer. I could just stitch all I
Everything
can
they
do
do.
is stitch this thing. All I want to do is just stitch that thing. Oh, but I like this designer too. All I want to do is stitch all their things.
What's wrong with us? Okay.
Be content. So thank you, Julie, so much. That it was such a gift. I'm in love with them.
A real gift.
Yeah.
And I might have to look into doing those. You know, I've got several options for next year, but
I know they're so.
I'm just, yeah, I'm having a hard time deciding. I died laughing. I was going to pull this comment up because it made me laugh so hard. On our, who did it? I think it was Christina. She commented. Okay, just a second. It's a little. Okay, so we were talking about not having hobbies and people that just clean their house as a hobby. And she says,
That's not a hobby. If that's your hobby, you need a new hobby.
She said, I have a shirt that says quilting forever, housework whenever. I'm right there with you, ladies. My husband picked up laundry as a new hobby since he was getting clean underwear and sweatpants on because he wasn't getting clean underwear and sweatpants on a steady basis.
I gotta let Jesse know that he's not the only one.
I died laughing. Oh my gosh.
Hobby. Oh man. Yeah, why can't that hobby be a man hobby? House cleaning can be the men's hobby while the women do the fun hobby.
Janet Jabber said, your hobby combo is exactly what I think about the ladies in my neighborhood. I am the only one that has a hobby. It's mind blowing to me.
What do they do all day? That's what I can't figure out. I mean, I have enough work. I have enough to do, I guess, that if I didn't have a hobby, I would stay busy. But I would just feel like.
Okay, so that's what I feel like. If I work all day for 10 hours and then in the evenings, I mean, let's be honest, people even that have 40-hour week jobs, most people are not going out on the town every night after work. You're tired. You're just at home, right?
Right.
And so I could just sit there like a slug, I guess, and not do anything.
I know, maybe that is what people do, is just zone out and not.
Maybe, I'm sorry, if you're a slug, I'm sorry. Well, you're obviously not if you're watching this.
I was a slug this morning on the Mariners game. I was just like, I'm so tired. I thought I should cross stitch. Just sat there.
But I also feel like, so my husband used to love doing puzzles. He loves doing puzzles, and I am not a puzzle fan. But we didn't really had a good spot for him, and we had people living with us, so there was always stuff on our dining room table, and he just felt like I think he was in the way. Well, I bought him a gorgeous wooden flat tray with raised sides, and it's got drawers that pull out that you can store all your pieces in, and it'll just slide under the bed, or it'll slide. I can just lay it on the washing machine if we have company, but it's just us now at home, so we don't even eat at the table. And so he can put that out, and I feel like he will work on puzzles this winter while he's watching TV. Because I think, again, you know, I feel like, well, you're just watching TV. I'm at least feel like I'm accomplishing something because I'm cross-stitching, you know. Not that I think he cares that he's not accomplishing anything.
Yeah, I think Jesse doesn't really care. I'm just like, how can you just sit there and stare at the TV? Like, are you kind of a little bit mentally bored? I don't know. Like, and what he does is he just falls asleep. He falls asleep all the time while we're watching TV. I never fall asleep because I'm cross-stitching.
And I would if I wasn't working on something. And I have for years. I wasn't knitting. It was, I mean, and there's been a couple nights lately that I've kind of fallen asleep with it in my hand because I was so tired. But anyway, those comments made me laugh because it is kind of mind-boggling to me.
So funny. I know. It's like, it truly is, mind-boggling to not have something that you just do.
And the thing about it is, crafts,
like
needlework and stuff, it's so prevalent, like so easily attained.
Yeah, it's not expensive unless you really want to get into fancy.
But bugs me when people say, "Oh, I could never do that." I'm like, "Yes, you could."
Or I never could have time. I could never make time for that. That's the other thing.
Or I could never do counter cross stitch. I'm like, "Can you count?" Pull up and down, up and down.
I am that person that will say, if you know how to like read and can count numbers, you can cross it. Like, there is no special knowledge that it requires.
And it's not harder than anything else. I mean, it's not like it looks maybe intimidating, but it's like, if I could pick up a little.
Sometimes people say that to me who are highly creative and talented in other areas, like they bake cakes, and I'm like, if you can do that, you can definitely cross it. You may not want to, you might not like it, may not be something that's your cup of tea, but you could do it. This is not too hard.
And I feel like cross stitching is so much easier than like somebody learning to knit. I think knitting is harder to learn. Crochet is a little easier
much
than
harder
knitting.
to teach.
Yeah, knitting was hard for me to learn, and I had a lot of, I mean, it's not like it's a whole other language. Where it's cross stitching, counting and reading.
Yeah,
there's no secret to it.
Read a chart and know. Yeah, I know. I love it for that reason. I feel like it's very accessible.
Well, did we draw for our giveaway?
We did draw for our giveaway. Do you have it to show what it is?
I do, but let me get a sticky note out so I can. I'm so sorry, people. I am behind on mailing out. I was really going to do it last week, and
I was going to go on Thursday, Friday, or I was going to go on Friday, and then all the girls were sick. I worked anyways, but my time was a little more crunched.
Yeah, well, I should have just taken time and gone during my little extended break here because of. Well, I did go mail off a package to Junie, but I didn't have all the
stuff ready.
I didn't have everything was ready to go. Okay, who won? Oh, sorry. We are giving away Hello from Liz Matthews, which I've never stitched anything by her. And the more I look at this, I just love it. It's Bittersweet Village. And I think it's just really kind of a combination of, I don't know, it's got the little houses like Barbara Anna, but then it's got other design elements that are not Barbara Anna.
Mm-hmm. The winner for this is Doreen Deskins. So Doreen.
Oh, Doreen.
Doreen's. Yeah, I think we have her address. It's been a little while since she's won anything, so we'll I'll double check it, but I think we have her.
Hey, Doreen, you are the lucky winner this week, and you are. I really like this one.
I do too. Yeah, it's a good one. I feel like we had a lot of entries in that one compared to some.
I need to look at her patterns more too.
Yeah,
I think we did a while ago, and then I kind of forget it. There's just so many designers, like you said. I want to stitch all of you, and like we talked about Carolyn Manning, I really want to do one of those those colored, different, specific
flower day or whatever. Or
yeah. There's a flower day that's all multicolored, but then I thought I really want to do one of those. Sure, you do, Kim. And maybe you should finish Flea Market Flowers first, and maybe you should finish your Hay first. Which, by the way, did you notice my Hay did not make an appearance this week?
Aww.
No mental headspace for that Hay this week. That was a no-go.
Well, I started mine and I didn't touch it and for like weeks, and now I'm on a roll and kind of feel like
I'm kind of actually, don't tell anybody, avoiding the Facebook group because I don't want to see everybody else's great progress, and I'm just sitting there like a toad.
Well, I don't have to tell anyone because you just did.
I'm sorry, Carolyn and Tina. I'm not a very good Facebook monitor.
But do you have a new giveaway this?
We do have a new, well, it's not brand new, okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
So Sarah showed hers at the top of the hour.
Not this.
I had started this piece also, and it's this Little House Mealworks Pumpkin Hollow Farm.
Are you giving away your start on it too?
No, I think I threw that away.
You threw it away? Like into the trash? How many pieces did you throw into the trash?
Not very many. So here's the sad story. Not sad story. When I put my ABCINGO together, I had a video of all my whips. Huh? I had all my whips, and there were so many, you guys. It's insane. And I actually pulled out I had just a very few really, really old ones that I'm gonna have Sarah look at, but I knew she'd already stitched this. Basically, all I had done was the house, which was actually a lot of stitching. I might have put that fabric back in my stash. I'll look. If somebody who wins this wants it, I'll look for the house.
You should throw it away. You still can't get over that.
Well, I didn't think
I could have just cut the house out or something and just made something cute out of it at least.
I wonder what I did do with it. I was in a mood. You know when you get in that kind of cleaning mood and you're just like, this is it.
No.
So I
I don't do that. I'm like Dad. I find a way to salvage everything. I don't throw stuff away.
Oh, but you know what? So I pulled out some whips, and they're in their little zipper packs for Sarah to look at. And I told my husband, I said, yeah, I've got some whips to give to Sarah. And he, honest to God, stood there and goes, is she going to pay you for them? Like, no. I said, it's not about that, Carrie. It's about the joy of stitching. He goes, no, it's about the money.
I can offer to pay for any I really, really want. And any I don't really want, you can just give it to me. You can recoup your losses.
Oh my gosh, he is something else sometimes.
Well, he would have a heart attack if he knew you were throwing away stuff.
I probably saved the fabric. I don't typically throw fabric away. It's probably in my stand. But I had kind of a garbage bag.
Exploded when you
I had like a garbage bag going on because I have like miscellaneous, like, I don't even know, little bags, little plastic junk stuck in there, right, in my baskets. And I had like, I don't even know what all was in there, to be honest. It was just ridiculous. Then I had kind of a pile going for you, and then I kind of reorganized. So what had happened was I had all my guys, I think I said this last week, I had all my current whips that are kind of in a rotation. We're in 2 different baskets by seasons. I did say this last week, and I put all of them in a crate, and then I had pulled out all the things that were possibilities for Bringo, ABCINGO. I could not fit into the crate the things that didn't make the cut for ABCINGO. So what did I do with those? I think I just, they're in a basket. I gotta get another crate. All that to say, if you would love to win this, all you have to say is, I don't know, what should I say? Pumpkin?
Pumpkin. We haven't done pumpkin yet this fall.
Okay, let's do pumpkin. If you want to, and it's a little wrinkled on this one page, but I did not mark it up. It's in very good condition. I'll find a little bag to put it in.
And it was really fun to stitch. It does have, well, does it have DNC conversions? I used a mixture of
It has conversions. Yes.
I might have used the called for like on the orange pumpkin.
Yeah, it uses Weeks and Gentle Arts and Classic Color Works, and all of them have a conversion.
Yeah.
The thing that I think I just got burned out on was that house, and then I knew I was going to have to do all this black and that.
Oh, the black actually went fast once you did.
I think the tree too. I think I had part of the tree done.
Well, yeah, if you win it, then you can email us and let us know if you want Mom to look for the fabric.
I tea-dyed it. It was a tea-dyed fabric.
No. Well,
I was very excited about that because, yeah, I think I was doing that on 28 count. I was stitching a lot on 28 count.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. I'll look for it. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of have another basket going with kind of giveaway ideas for when I don't go buy something brand new. That's kind of nice to do. I thought I was going to purge out my patterns a lot more because I was doing that too. And I thought, no, I can't get rid of these patterns. I like them all too much. You don't need to do
that right now, and they're not like taking up too much space to take with you.
They're not. I mean, well, they kind of are. I mean, they're another big crate. I can barely push it across the floor. So.
Okay, well, maybe then. Do you need me to help you?
No, I'm going to retire and have all this time.
I know, you shouldn't get rid of your patterns yet, because you never know what you're going to really.
That's exactly right. And they're not hurting anybody. And
exactly.
No. Yeah. Okay. So you
so use the word and
wait, I didn't do my haul.
I didn't know you had haul. I think I asked and I thought you said you didn't have any. I'm sorry.
No, I was printing my haul. I got
haul. Oh yeah, that's right. You were printing all of that.
Well, I got more than that.
Oh.
I needed some more patterns.
Oh, interesting that you're saying that after the conversation we just had about you throwing away whips.
So I got my Historical Sampler Company's monthly box, and it is so cute.
They have a really cute one.
It says chicken, lay a little egg for me.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
So
they have my favorite Like you've shown them, and I've seen lots of people share monthly boxes. This might be my favorite I've ever seen.
It's got the fabric, so it basically came with this canvas. So it came with the fabric.
Oh, and you do it over the.
And then it came with all the glosses.
That is so cute.
Those are the colors.
Oh.
And then it came with it's just kind of an Ada, I think.
Is this the same designer as your monthly piece, or this? Yeah.
Okay. And it came with like the double-sided tape to assemble this thing with. I mean, it comes with everything. A needle every month.
Wow.
And then it got a chocolate bar. And then it came with this really cute twin pen set.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
What a sweet box. I like that box. I want one of those.
See, look at it's kind of a neutral colored pen or pencil, and then a floral one.
Oh.
Anyway, so this was a pretty cute box.
That is cute.
Yeah. Chicken. Lay me an egg.
That is cute.
So that came, which was really fun.
No.
I needed that, man. I needed something. You guys can't even express to you how bad that week was. Okay, enough of that. And then I got in the mail, well, the Terry Knot that I got a second copy of. My Bird Crush came from Lindy Stitches, and it is the American Goldfinch. And I really, whoopsie, upside down, sideways.
Yeah, I love
it. Whoops, and she always sends stickers and they're falling out. And this is the stitched version.
Oh, cute.
Which I really like this one. And she sent the Threadworks yellow.
That's pretty.
It's really pretty. She sends one of those a week. And I do think that I'll stitch these someday, just not now. I don't want to. They drop. Oh. My needle to my chicken.
Oh, what was that?
We having that. And then I had said last week I talked about how I had kind of discovered that Elizabeth's needlework designs from back in the vintage days, and I wanted the evergreen sampler.
Yeah.
I'm out of here because there's a glare. It arrived from eBay. It's packaged really cute too. It was all wrapped up with a bow, and it had a little thank you charm on it.
Wow. Cute.
So this is called Antique Evergreen Sampler by Elizabeth Needleworks. And what I love is that the ABCs also in the middle of it make words.
I like this one a lot. I would stitch this for sure.
I wish it would focus.
Really cute one.
There we go.
So pretty.
Yeah. And
those trees, that bottom right one is exactly like one on the stocking that I just.
It does look like that, doesn't it? It's all Weeks Dye Works, but it's got DMCs. And it's not that many. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 colors. I do love it. And I talk about wanting to get out of here, but I will miss living in the evergreen state, although it doesn't look very evergreen right now. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of vintagey, but not. Like it's got the little animals, but yeah, those trees, some of these look like your Rosewood Manor trees.
Yeah, they do a lot.
And I like that the border is different on every side.
Oh yeah.
Well, these two might be the same, but this is different. This is different.
Yeah.
Like pine needles, but they're up close. They don't look like pine needles, but they did part of it. Anyway, I do like this, and I probably won't put this away and forget about it because I like it enough that I might try to find a way to start it.
Yeah.
The next year or so. And then I was printing these before we went to record. Because I had seen these and I had bookmarked them, and then I kind of forgot about them, and I forgot about her. So the designer is Jenny Vandeweel, but she goes by Home Stitchness on Etsy. What's going on here? Okay, so the first, about 2 of her fall patterns. I bought this one, which is, I have her winter one. It's got pine needles and pine cones. And so it's just a simple little fall piece. But I really had not seen the autumn. She has a wreath series too, and I so fell in love with this autumn wreath.
I like that one a lot. Her designs are really pretty and simple.
Aren't they pretty? And they're not super, big, but there's a lot of colors.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
All
yeah.
those colors in that thing. Maybe they're. Anyway, it's interesting because her pattern. Oh, you get to choose which goldfinch you want to put in there. She gives you a European goldfinch or an American goldfinch.
Oh.
And so then she just has the outline where you would put the bird in.
Oh, huh.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense though, because I noticed a couple of her other patterns had a flag in it. And she had I think she might be Australian. Because there was a version of the same pattern with an Australian flag, a version with the Canadian flag, and the version with the American flag. So anyway, I really do like this. And again, I don't really want to wait forever to start it. I'm really in a fall mood. And I know this just kind of happens every year to me. So yeah. I want to stitch all the fall things.
Yeah.
I think I might give you I think I did in that pile, give you my Halloween squirrel.
One that you hate.
I was going to give it to you, and I might have put it back in my bucket, but then I might have pulled it out. You know why I don't like working on it? It's not because I made a mistake on it. It's because that fabric was too dark.
Oh.
Or
like
too
dark
light.
To see or too dark for how you liked it?
It's the color, the fancy flosses, I had to change them up because the pattern, the squirrels are a lot lighter colored, and I liked that look. I had to go to a darker color for their muzzle or their face and other parts of them, and I don't like what I did.
I see.
It's not how I envisioned the piece. I really liked the copy, and because of my changes. So it was one of those rookie mistakes where I was dyeing fabric and I just dyed the wrong color.
I see. You just were never happy with it since.
I think so. I think that's probably why I look at it and I'm just disappointed in it. And maybe I would restitch it someday on the right color and really love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I give it to you, I'll let you finish that one and you can keep it and give me the pattern back.
Okay.
Because I like her. She has a spring squirrel. It's on a bike. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a cute series.
That is a cute.
But I think it was just the colors. Just disappointed. I don't know. Sometimes things don't jive with you.
Yeah. Right.
So that is all my haul.
Fun. Are you reading anything this week?
I'm reading With Love from London by Sarah Gio, which she's that local author.
Right.
Just started it. I finished my other one. I think I said that last week. I finished Signal Moon. It was okay.
You didn't finish it?
You
hadn't finished, I think, last week.
Oh, yeah, I finished. I was so close to being done. And it probably is actually really fine for a short story. I just haven't read a lot of short stories in a long time. So it felt a little one note maybe, because obviously it's a short story. You don't have as much time to develop. But I got that done and I started this one and I am liking it. I really like her. And the foreword that she wrote in it was really meaningful. She wrote it, I think, during COVID. And just, really appreciative of her readership. She's very, very popular in like Turkey. Like she has a whole that she had book tours in Turkey before COVID. Like she's been writing for a few years. And I think through her book tours, her brother actually met a woman from Turkey and ended up marrying a woman from Turkey.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think it was through that. So and Norway really loves her. So she's very, got big following there. So it's kind of it's her typical, there's a current day story and a past story, and it's a mother-daughter story this time. So it's a mother you start off with this daughter, it's a grown daughter who's just got divorced. And she's been summoned to London. And then you find out that that she doesn't have a mom, but early on it sounds like her mom has died, but her mom didn't die. Her mom left her. And I haven't figured out yet if she knew all along her mom had left her. I think she must have. But anyway, her mom left her. Oh, I gotta go. She died, left her a home in London and a bookstore.
Huh.
So she's on her way to claim it and figure out why her mom left, I think. Because the next chapter is her mom. It's like her mom's name is Eloise. The next chapter is labeled Eloise. And so you probably start to develop her storyline. So yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
What
You've
about
liked
you?
her before. I am reading lots of school stuff. So I'm still reading that book about the Holocaust that I talked about last week. I'm not that far from ending. It's not very long, but I've just been taking it kind of slow. And then I've been reading. What I really wanted to do was read at least a little bit in most of Lydia's books. So that I am a little ahead. So all my extra reading has been like a little bit in some science books and Adventures with a Microscope. But I have been reading Ivanhoe, which is one of her books. It's by Sir Walter Scott. I've never read anything by him, and I am really enjoying it. Like,
really?
It's kind of set in medieval period, so like kind of Robin Hood. Well, yeah, it's Prince John, like when Richard is kidnapped and he's overseas, he's out on the continent. It's set during that whole time, and it's really engaging and really interesting, and his writing style is really beautiful. And I mean, it's a classic. So
yeah,
never read anything by him.
I am not either.
I am enjoying it a lot. It's definitely.
I'm glad. I'm glad they're being exposed to all those books that I was never exposed to.
Well, yeah.
Books that I didn't expose you to. I mean, some you were exposed to.
I read a ton of classics, even just on my own. I loved classics.
Yeah.
So
there's just so many.
I mean, I feel like I was that kid that would get like the pamphlet from the library that was like 100 books you should read by the time you graduate high school, and I would try to work my way through them. Like that was just me, and I loved doing that. Like I really enjoyed those books. But
there.
But there were some authors that I never even touched. Like I don't know. Sir Walter Scott for one, but you know, there's been some others that the girls have read that I never read before. I was like, wow, this is really good. So I mean, I read a lot of Jane Austen. I read a lot of those kind of classics like Little Women and all of those. But this one I just haven't read, and I think that will happen more and more because this is a pretty comprehensive curriculum for literature. So
it seems to be.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Twain. That's another one I never really. Oh, I think I read one book by Mark Twain, but that was it. And
I'm sure you had one that was assigned to you.
I probably read Tom Sawyer. I'm pretty sure I read Tom Sawyer, but I never have read Huck Finn, and I should because the girls are supposed to have read it, and never have. So eventually I'll get to it. But she's reading Twain this year. Anyway, so that's been fun. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
School's ready. We're ready. I'm pretty much ready. So
they sound like they're ready because I can hear them.
What the heck? That is not how they were this morning. So they must be feeling a lot better.
COVID short. Well, you know, that was my hope that because they were vaccinated, I was like, I'm so bummed that they're feeling so miserable because I was hoping their vaccine would keep them from getting it very bad, but maybe it's keeping them from being sick as long with it. Maybe.
That's what I'm hoping. Like if they have a bad day or two, that's fine. But if they start to
feel different than any other illness.
Clearly Millie is feeling better because she's the voice I keep hearing. So she was the one who was so sick yesterday. She's squealing and screaming. I can't tell if I'm hearing Rosie at all, but I'll have to go check it out when we're done here. So
well, hopefully by Wednesday at the latest, they'll all be back to their normal bouncing little selves.
I hope so. And I saw that Heather has COVID too in our comments, and she had also made it all the way till now without getting it.
I know, and she's works in a hospital.
People that never had it just this month, I know, have had it. Like our ballet teacher, my friend at church never had it. Now she's just recently had it. Now the girls. So it's like a new wave of people who never got it before.
I think so. I think it's just around, you know, it's looking for new people to infect because it's not affecting maybe, but like I know people that have had the vaccine that are getting it. So, you know, it's not like, or like Cassidy has had it twice now and is boosted and shot up.
The whole thing is so crazy.
Yeah. But again, she had really, you know, she felt kind of cruddy, was in bed, just kind of tired and stuff. But it wasn't like,
or anything.
It wasn't like anything worse than a flu. Like if you get the flu, I mean, you're sick.
Yeah.
right? It's stuff's gonna be there. It's life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
Life now.
too devastated about it. I feel like we held off enough to know what we're dealing with, which was what I really wanted. Like if we could hold off till we got vaccinated, and then after that I was kind of like, okay, now we'll just kind of go back to life. But at least the longer out we are from it, from the beginning of the pandemic, the more they know about it. Like the more
Right, and the mutations have
or less
changed the face of it. So
yeah.
the first what do they call that, origin strain was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
You know, I mean, it was bad. And people
I'm thankful that we didn't have it earlier like that.
People that are dying from it now are definitely people that are probably have compromised.
Or more at risk.
Yeah, and even a lot of compromised people aren't dying from it because they can get on that viral medicine, even though they usually rebound, but they at least stay out of the hospital. So that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my babies.
They're clearly doing okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna worry about them too much.
Well, thank you for watching and for being our friends. We hope you have a really good week. Oh, what?
Oh, well, it's coming up in a couple of weeks. We got our Shepherd's Bush thing on the 18th.
Yes.
Our Shepherd's Bush start along.
Yes. So we'll use. Did we come up with a hashtag for that? If we did,
I don't think we did. I don't think we did.
I'll put one in the description box below. We don't need to figure it out right this second.
Sounds good.
I don't think we did. And so we hope you have a great week.
They are really loud.
That's Millie. That's just Millie being weirdo.
Either that or she's delirious.
No, I think she's feeling way better.
I survived.
Hey, I made it through COVID. Okay.
Well, I hope everybody has a great stitchy week.
Yes, me too.
Kind. Stop at red lights. I haven't even gotten into that. But people aren't stopping at red lights here. It's very scary.
Oh, gosh, that is crazy.
And it's not just us noticing it. Like we had a conversation with friends. People are just literally running red lights. They'll stop, and if there's no traffic coming, they just go.
What?
Or they don't even stop. They just run. Like Dad has almost gotten creamed twice, as he's very carefully gone through an intersection, and somebody comes flying through it, would have T-boned him and killed him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's bad. So anyway, be safe, people. Be aware of the crazy people out there.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yep. We'll see you all next week.